other than Yoel Romero.
Yoel?
He's in there. He's in there.
Oh, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
1 and 2 right now.
And I think it's like interchangeable.
Yeah. It depends what you're into.
But Yoel flies through the air. Yoel does backflips at the beginning of every fight. At the beginning of every fight, he goes into the audience, or he goes into the cage, and he does back handsprings and literally launches himself through the air and lands on his feet.
Like it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's a solid landing.
And he's 200 pounds.
Correct, sir.
And he's flying.
Flying.
He's the freakiest
And
freak
loves
athlete
gay
ever.
Jesus. Yes.
Yeah, Jesus.
Gay Jesus.
Michael Bisping, I love you. I love you, Michael. You do that to me. I love you.
Someone needs to help him with his marketing,
no, don't
right?
change a word.
No, but he lost so much fan support when he said for what does he say? For the gay Jesus. We thought he said gay Jesus,
Yes.
but he said don't forget Jesus. But his broken English was so bad, people went bad on him so fast.
They did.
And then he kept calling Bisping boy.
Yeah, I
Kept
like
calling
that.
boy.
Well, it's okay because he's a black guy.
I like that.
He's allowed.
If Bisping did that to him, we got some shit on
We
our
have some
hands.
shit on our hands.
Cannot
Yeah.
say that to
No.
a man of color.
No.
He does talk
Don't
like that.
forget Jesus.
He's so scary. Poor Weidman in New York, hometown, needed a win bad. They only getting no love in New York, and then just a fucking knee from Cuba just to your dome piece.
Just flew through the air, and as he hit him, like he was flying over him afterwards. But you know that was insanely impressive. But you know what was almost as impressive is the way he took Weidman's back. He tripped him. They tied up together. He trips Weidman, throws him to the ground, and then spins around behind him and takes his back.
How about the trip? How about the world-class trip?
Oh, yeah.
People are like, that's just trip. No, that's world-class level trip. Weidman's an absolute monster.
Ridiculous.
And he was just, kadoosh.
He was throwing him around. He was showing him the difference between a wrestler from the Olympics, a guy who medaled in every single world tournament he entered.
And built like a Ninja Turtle.
Dude, he's ridiculous.
And
you know he has like a fused disc in his neck.
I would assume.
He had a serious injury in his neck, just like Weidman has. But Weidman had a discectomy.
Weidman had surgery.
He did. So Yoel has a big scar on the back of his neck. You can see it. It's like a big slice. It's all stitched up.
Just like Ving Rhames from Pulp Fiction.
Very different. But yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though. Same scar, black guy.
Well, it's you know, I've seen it before on other guys, but spinal surgery is fucking no joke, man.
I had Weidman win that fight till then.
He won the first round, but you thought he won the second round when Yoel was throwing him around?
No, not winning, but I thought as the fight would go on, it would help Weidman.
I thought in the second round, Yoel started implementing his wrestling, and I
Correct.
thought he was running away with it. And then in the
so
third,
it'd be 1-1, right?
Yes. I thought it was 1-1.
Yes, 1-1.
But
That's
I thought
fair.
it was like shocking how good his wrestling was in comparison. And we know
He
that
doesn't.
Weidman
He doesn't show it.
Yeah, very, very rarely. But when he does, dudes go flying.
I don't
They
know why he
just go
doesn't use it more.
because he's having fun.
Having a good time.
Dude, for real. At first, when he was talking stuff to Bisping, I'm like, God, that's a terrible fight for Bisping. God, that's terrible. And then it hit me, I'm like, 5 rounds? Bisping really doesn't initiate in that grappling, and he has cardio for days? That's a tough fight to call. At first, I was like, yeah, Romero's going to fucking destroy Bisping. I'm like, not really, though. If you think about it, not really.
Who knows what could happen? But Dan Henderson caught Bisping twice bad in their last title fight at 45 years old or whatever it is.
He did catch him really, really
He caught him bad. And Dan Henderson, who is one of the most ruthless power strikers in the game for sure. And Bisping survived that. So that's good for Bisping that he was able to survive that. You know? You got to think Yoel Romero doesn't just have a right hand. He flies. He literally launches himself at you. If he gets a hold of you, the wrestling
You're going
ability.
for a ride.
Dan Henderson's a silver medalist in the Olympics as well. But it's
Different.
It's different.
Different.
Yeah.
Especially Dan right now. What's Dan, 48?
I think he's 46 or 45.
He's up there either way.
Yeah.
But Romero's basically, in his prime as an MMA fighter.
Well, also there's like the range of motion.
Yes.
Like Dan's almost like locked up.
Some would say stiff.
Yeah, but if he hits you, you're Fucksville. But he's like his range of motion is very limited. Whereas Yoel is like a super athlete. He doesn't have any limitations in his range of motion. He's ridiculously flexible. Like he does like a half split before he fights. He was like down there like stretching out. You're like, this guy's range of motion's insane.
Those knees and the flying knees, though, a lot of it, especially with Weidman, came from Weidman going for that single leg. He's like, go for it again, see what happens.
Yeah.
And where Bisping doesn't entertain the grappling at all.
That's true. That's true.
And he stays on the outside, and he also has that beast of a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But right away, I was like, oh, God, that sucks. Because I love Bisping. I'm like, God, that's a bad fight for him. And I was sitting there, I'm like, well, cardio, 5 rounds. If he can survive those first 2, maybe 3, Dragon Blade Water, it's a fun fight. Definitely watch that bad boy.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to do MMA math, right? MMA
You can
math
do style matchups, though, right?
Yeah. But I was saying, like, Bisping lost to Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy lost to Yoel, but Tim Kennedy was beating Yoel. Like, that's another thing that Yoel's corner did this fight that was fucked up, man. They covered him with water. They threw water on him while he was sitting there resting.
Between first and second?
Uh-huh. They put an ice pack on him, and he poured water on himself. He poured it on his legs. He poured it on his arms. He poured it all over him. And they wiped him down. I mean, he was trying to cool himself off, probably.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to do that.
No.
And they spent time wiping him down before the round started. So, like, they wiped him down in between the corner, but then the referee stopped it and made them wipe him down more.
So he gets more rest.
Yeah, look, for sure they're aware when that happened with Tim Kennedy. When Tim Kennedy had him fucked up at the end of that second round, he absolutely and on purpose stayed on that stool longer than he was supposed to.
Some would say it was a smart move.
Yes.
Obviously, it ended up working in his favor.
It's smart if you're a cheater, if you're okay with cheating, but it is cheating. It's cheating. You have an allotted
100%
1 minute.
is cheating.
100%.
Yes.
Right? You have
Tim should have won
allotted,
that fight.
And the referee should have probably stopped the fight, but I'm sure Big John didn't want the fight to end, didn't want to cheat everybody out of the fight, just wanted the guy to get back up.
But then you cheat Tim Kennedy, who is the one person you don't want to cheat out of this.
And Tim is walking around like yelling while this is all going on.
Pissed.
Yeah. The whole thing was a mess. It was a mess. That was a clusterfuck of a moment. But it just shows you this guy has a massive amount of experience in international competition in wrestling. And there's like a lot of shit that goes on in wrestling, you know, where you have to take advantage of whatever you can to win, you know, and all these years of high-level competition on the international scene, he's probably got a bunch of little tricks like that he could do to slow down the pace or give himself a little extra time.
And what people what's 15, 20 seconds? 15, 20 seconds for a guy like Yoel Romero to replenish.
Giant.
You're talking
giant.
Night and day difference for a guy like that.
And I think it was also 30 seconds with the Tim Kennedy fight, if I remember. Maybe 23.
I felt like it was longer than that.
I don't remember.
Talking about Stoolgate.
Yeah, Stoolgate. But also then there's a psychological issue because Kennedy now thinks the fight's over. Is it not over? Like, he doesn't know where he's at.
There's nothing worse than that when you think the fight's over and they're like, no, back in, man.
That's what always kills me about Glory when they have that extra round.